Good afternoon. You probably noticed I'm not here today, so I'm going to help you with these couple of lessons via digital means here. So please really try hard to pay attention, and then there'll be a worksheet to follow this lesson and the next lesson. So the first thing we're going to do is real basic stuff. This is called a staff. A staff has 5 lines. You just count them from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And it has 4 spaces. You just count them from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So there you go. They're numbered for you from the bottom always. Okay. The staff, every line or space corresponds to a note on the piano. So you can see as the notes get higher, they go to the right on the piano. And as the notes go lower, they would go to the left on the piano. So you can kind of watch it here for a second. Okay, we're going to be dealing with 2 kinds of clefs on the staff. And the clef is the first thing you'll see on a staff. It sort of tells you what scale to use, what key. It's kind of like on a map you'd have a legend. It's kind of like a legend. It tells us what notes we're going to be using or what set of notes we're going to be using. Treble clef usually tends to be instruments that are high in pitch, like trumpet or flute or clarinet. And bass clef tends to be notes that are low in pitch, like bass or timpani or bass drum. So the 2 clefs we normally see are treble and bass clef. Now we do use percussion clef too, but we don't need to use that because we don't have anybody doing that at the moment. So the first clef, treble clef, is also called a G clef. And if you look real careful, it sort of looks like a G. If you use your imagination, it sort of looks like a G. And it actually circles a G. So if you look, it circles this line right here. That is a G right there. Okay? Circles G right in the middle. So you can know the note names just by knowing that one note. Because then after that, it just goes in alphabetical order. After G in music, we always go back to A, and then it's just alphabetical order from there, okay, right on the staff. They're also going, we can't go higher, right? We run out of notes. So if we want to do an A, we've got to add a little tiny line called a ledger line, which will solve our problem. Okay, so we just add a little extra line to it. Then we can put an A on there. Okay. Now we're going to talk about bass clef. Bass clef is also called F clef. Like it used to look like an F. It doesn't anymore, but it gives us a bunch of signals. It has a big dot right here, and then it has 2 dots, and that is signifying that this line right here is an F. So if you see right there, that's an F. And we do the same thing as in treble clef. So we would do the note names going up, just alphabetical order G, F, A. So we're back to here, F. Going down the staff, the notes get lower, so we just go backwards on the alphabet. F, E, B, C, D, A. If you look this way, it's alphabetical order A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this way, it's backwards alphabetical order. So you might say, why is there a treble clef and a bass clef? Why can't we just use one clef for everything? Well, this is why. Let's say you're playing piano and you need both hands to play. Usually the left hand is the bass clef and the right hand is the treble clef. This would look really confusing if we just had a bunch of lines. So what they did in the old days is they took the middle one out. So now we've got 2 staffs of 5 lines. Okay, then we put our treble clef on the top one and our bass clef on the last one. And this note right in between is a C. And if we were to do alphabetical order from here, this would end up being a G, C, C, D, E, F, G. And if we go backwards, C, B, A, G, F. So it makes that treble clef and our bass clef. That's a real simple lesson, and your teacher will have instructions for what to do. In fact, I'm going to pause this lesson for a second, and I'm going to take my face off, and I'm going to put my other camera on so you can see what your assignment is, and I can show you how to do it. You know, actually, I'm just going to make a second video. So you can stop the video here and go to the second video that I have up there.